Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're putting together the Hello Kitty Make It Mini spaces. This looks super cute. It's a little bakery shop. We've put together the other ones in the past and I showed you how they stacked. So this is another one, same size, and it can connect to make like a shopping complex or however you want to set that up, or can be used individually as well. So it shows you all the pieces that it comes with. There's different designs for the floor. There's a booklet inside and all that fun stuff. So let's open it and take a look. It's pretty comical how long it took me to get that open. There's lots of little rubber bands all around here that are hard to cut off with my scissors. But here are the packages. I'll take those all out. The flooring and stuff should all be in here. There's a couple of display cases to make. Of course, everything's branded, super cute, put together nicely. And this plastic container, at least the white piece that I already removed, feels thicker than the last ones. So that's nice. But these are the floors and the walls. And here we do get some brackets, for lack of a better word, that will hold them together, hold the walls together. Instruction manual, some stickers, oh cute, for the walls, wallpaper, other instructions. These are glue strips for the floor and the wallpaper. They do that, so there's no actual glue, resin, or any of that in these kits. Next, we will look at the manual before we start building it. So there's normally a slight different variations or customizations you can do with like the wallpaper or the floor. I'm going to go with this pattern, but the display shows a different one that you can do as well. So yep, these are the double-sided tape. So you're going to lay them how they have them, pull off the back, and that's how the tiles stick. And I think they did that so it's semi-permanent. It's gonna stay, but if you wanna rearrange it, do a different pattern, it's easy to lift them up. So that's why I think they went with tape. Here's some of the shelves that we're gonna make. Those look easy. Here's the floor pattern. Very easy. Some of the tiles have apples and bows on them, so that's really cute. And then there's a special piece that goes in the corner where that pole will go. So that's what we'll do first. Then you could put the wallpaper on. Looks like it came in 2 strips that time. And then this is also in 2 pieces because there is a Hello Kitty cutout. So they have one that goes around there and then the bottom half. And then they also give you an optional panel like this. I will be using that, but you don't have to add that if you don't want that. And likewise, if you don't want it on this wall, you can put it on this wall. So it does have the little print here, super cute. You can kind of switch it up a little bit if you want to. There are some shelves. If you shine a light behind it, you can see where the holes line up, so you know exactly where to poke them out. They do give you a tool for that. Super easy. Just have to apply some pressure, make sure it's spaced out accurately. I count and then hold it up there just to double check. But the instructions for the spaces, the little stores like this, they are pretty good. So just look it over really well as you're doing it and you should be fine. There's some Hello Kitty lights to install. Another shelf or a counter, however you want that. Then you do the bakery display case, this other display case. The bins are all Hello Kitty, very, very adorable. Then you could go and decorate. They give you stickers. You can put them on the display cases, on the walls, and all that. So, pretty easy. Let's get to building it. We're going to start with the floor. I guess I was getting ahead of myself a little bit. We first have to find the floor pieces. Ooh, there they are. Lucky guess. So these ones are the solid pink. And this is the side they go down on. So they do look like an actual tile if you've ever tiled anything. So that goes face down like that. And then this pack, I would assume, are the ones with the bows and the apples. And they are. And if it's anything like last time, you'll probably have maybe like 1 or 2 of each left. Those are adorable. And you can play around with it. This is how they show doing it in the instructions, a checkered pattern. but on here you'll see they did solid around there, then the lighter color on the inside. So you should have enough pieces to make a different pattern if you don't want to do this, but you could always lay it out to make sure everything's going to fit before you get started. So to start, I always put that hole in the corner because that's the direction they show. And then you're going to take these double-sided strips, make sure the sticky part is lifting up from there because sometimes they don't. And then it shows lining them up. Actually, I should have scooted that over more, but that's okay. You should put it up against here, and it will fall short a little bit right here, and that's fine because you're going to put one going down there. So anywhere on the instructions you see the blue or the white, the blue is where the sticker should go. And you should have extra stickers or double-sided tape left over. I do have some from last time as well, but you can leave a bit of a gap. Like that might be too close. I think I spaced them out more, but I hadn't had a problem with anything because as you see, it's going to overlap wherever you put it. So even if I spaced it out more, the glue is going to be, or the sticker is going to be touching it. So not too important in my opinion, but you don't want to space them too far. Is that even making sense? Kind of just go by what the picture, what they look like. And what you could do, I think I did this in the last one. I think I put one at the top and one at the bottom, so I had like a guide. I kind of like boxed it in first. So you could do that as well. I like laying all of mine down and then ripping off the backs when I'm done with the whole thing. I feel like it's easier. And I'm curious to see what else they're gonna put out for these. I think we should have like a toy store or something so we can make like a mall. It doesn't all have to be food. That would be neat. So I have 3 more strips left on here. I'm going to put one here. And then I have another full sheet of stickers for the wallpaper. So I have it spaced out. Something like that does not have to be perfect, like I said. But I'm going to go through now and lift the backs off of all of these. And then I'm going to put that last strip going down the side. This is the satisfying part, taking all these off. The one that's coming up here in the middle is one that wasn't lifting well off the paper, so it's going to look a little bubbly when I lift it off. But again, doesn't really matter. Okay, and that final strip, I'm going to put it up here as far as I can. It will overlap some of the other sticker parts just a tad, but that's fine. I'm going to rip it off like so, and now we can start with the tiles. You'll want to first locate this piece because that's what's going to go here covering that hole. It does have to go a particular way where those smaller sides make like a backwards L. So I'm going to place that over there. And just because I'm paranoid and I don't want it to move, I also go ahead and insert this joist, pole, whatever you want to call it. That way I know it's in there perfectly. Once you have that in there, you're just going to alternate the colors. So you're going to go with the darker pink. That is a solid. Then they have the apple going next. Then another solid pink. And then the bow. Then the darker pink. Just a pattern like that. And you can see it on the instructions as well if you want to follow it exactly just like what they have. And just kind of make sure they're all straight. I like to lightly place mine on there, and then once I have all of them set and they look straight, then I'll go and like press them down. But this is so cute. I didn't realize, was I putting the bows all the same way? I think I was. There's little details to pay attention to if you're particular like that. But I will continue doing this, and I'll come back when I'm done so you can see my progress. It's coming along nicely so far. I did place one bow upside down and it was pretty obvious, so I went back and fixed that one because it stood out to me again, unless you're like staring at this, you're probably not going to notice, but I kind of feel like my daughter would notice because she's like her dad. So just keep plugging along. This is actually really fun, and it comes together pretty quickly. Of course, it helps if you sort the pieces beforehand, but yeah. We'll probably have maybe like 1 or 2 left over. But we're alternating and they should line up, so all the apples, all the bows, just like that. This is what it looks like when you get them all in there. Super cute. And it doesn't quite butt up to the very tippy top here, but I remember that being important so that the wall can fit nicely, if I recall correctly. These are my extras. So if you wanted to start with a darker pattern in the corner, you have a piece for that, and then there's an extra bow. Very nice. So now, if you're satisfied, you can kind of tap it down a little, make sure it's all glued in, and then we could set that aside and work on the wall. When you're doing the wall, you're going to want this part facing up, and then the part that looks like all these little rectangles at the bottom. And then this should be easy. The first step is you just peel off this top piece. That way you can line it up and stick it. So let me do that off camera. Okay, and if you need to, if you lay it crooked like I just did, you can readjust it. So now once you have it placed and it's straight, you can go under here and take off that second piece. And then we could smooth it down. I feel like I should use a credit card. May not be necessary, but I feel like it would look super professional if I did. Okay. It's hanging off just a tad. Hopefully that won't interfere. But I think that looks good. And then this one should match up where the white goes over the white like that. And as you can see the holes through it like you're supposed to be able to, so that we can add shelves and other fun stuff to it. So that looks pretty lined up there. Press that down, remove the back, and then this wall will be done. Oh no, did I make a bubble? That was going really smooth until it wasn't. So yeah, that credit card method is sounding like a good idea right about now. Okay, we smoothed it out. It's fine. And we're pretty good. I'm not too concerned because she does want that panel over here, so we're going to hide imperfections anyways. This is the panel I'm referring to. You could totally put on the other piece if you want, but I think it'll look nice with the white to put it there. And then again, kind of covers up the imperfections. So to use this, it says put a strip of tape here, strip of tape here. I think last time I also did one in the middle because why not? We have extra tape. So you could line those up however you see fit. But it does fit along the length of it, press it in really well, and like I said, I'll do one there and there. My strips look something like that. Now you just got to remove the backs off of them. Which usually is pretty easy, but my nail cannot grip them. There we go. So now it looks like that. I remember from last time, you don't want to put it like too close to the bottom because I think it interfered with snapping into the wall. So I'm just going to leave like the smallest little gap. Is that crooked? It feels crooked. Okay, like that. That's cute, so we can set that aside and do the final wall. This operates in a similar way. We're going to take off that top strip only, line it up, then remove the back and smooth it out, make sure it's straight. Should line up very nicely like that. So now I think I'm gonna work from like a side motion. Kind of like that, where I'm like sliding it out little by little and smoothing it at the same time. Just very gently. That looks good. You could go back in, smooth that out, make sure everything's sticking. That is so cute. I like this pattern for that wall. And then that, as you see, lines up perfectly where they match. And we're gonna do the same thing with that. So they have the top strip. And we're gonna line it up. Should line up perfectly like that. Whoops. It moved on me. And again, you can reposition those. Just like that. Fold it up, remove that second backing. Let's try the other side. There we go. I'm going to remove the whole thing and kind of hold it. And then holding a little tension. Gonna move in a downward motion. There we go, no bubbles. That looks good. Now we can assemble and add the walls. This one is going to go on this side. And it should just fit into those grooves, push down. And it's nice and snug. Same with this one. And then it's kind of hard to see, but right here you can see there's a gap in the wall in the back, and that's what this is for. You set this bracket on the very top of those walls and it pulls them together. I realize you can't see from the angle you're currently at, but don't worry, I will at the end switch it so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, perhaps this is a better angle. This is what it looks like fully assembled. And again, this is here, if you want to stack anything, you remove that little L bracket and then you put the next one on top of it. And you can keep stacking them or putting them long ways, however you want to do it. This one will probably just go next door to our ice cream shop, I think. We do have one stacked on top in her room that she plays with. But let's make the furniture and decorate the walls. We have to now finish opening all of these to find our lights. Oh, we got some donuts. Ooh, they gave us a menu. Not a sticker though, but that's okay. Coaster, 1 plate. We do have extras of those from all the other Hello Kitty sets, and we have decorated donuts and stuff that we can display. These are so cute. That one's got a little ink smeared on it, but these are the lights. Hello Kitty's face, and then the bow. These I think are supposed to be light bulbs that go in there. That's adorable. I kind of group them together so we can see what's going on. This is our tool we use to poke through that wallpaper. We got some red tongs. And then these should be shelves and all sorts of stuff. So again, I'm going to lay those in piles so that I know what pieces go with what. That's adorable. This goes under that cutout as like a ledge for the window. I think that's a really cute touch. Fake glass pieces for our display case. Oh, I got a couple of those. Yep. And lastly, the bins. Oh, those are so cute. They look like woven baskets with Hello Kitty's face on it. Adorable. If you're going by the order of the manual, the next step is to put the stuff in the wall, like the lights, but I want to build the furniture first because the poking the hole part makes me nervous. So let's assemble this. We have this part facing down, and then those just line up. Should be an easy build. It's an easy build if you're paying attention. That slid right over, but I had it on the wrong side. So this opening goes towards the back, and then it does say putting the smaller shelf with this opening towards the back. That goes there, just like that. And then of course we have the other piece, which should snap in very nicely now that everything's going the correct direction. Just like that. This should snap into there. Actually, we gotta do the second layer first, don't we? I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know that they were... Yeah, I don't think it matters. Does it? I don't think it matters. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then you do the same thing, that part going down. This part goes towards the back, so that one goes on this side. Snap it in. Put the shelf facing back. That goes in there. Put the other side on. And then because that first part we built has the little pokey things, they're gonna stack into there. So let's put that on there. Ta-da. That's very cute. And then those baskets go into there. And that kind of stops them from sliding too much forward. Boom. But if you had more of these, you could keep stacking them because there's holes up there. You would just have to move Hello Kitty's bow up or stack it from the bottom. But that's adorable. I'm not sure what I'll put in here, but we have lots of options because we have so much Miniverse food. Next, we're gonna build the display case. This piece kind of already comes like that. So now step 2 is to take these side pieces, and the bottoms have notches in them, and those go facing the back. So make sure you have them turned. And then same with this. This has a notch. It needs to be in that back corner. And then you can put them in the little grooves here, like so. And those go in there pretty easily. And then you just follow the shape to here. So you can't stick it there. It's not possible. So I guess there is an error in the instructions. It shows that the little cutout at the bottom should be over here. It's actually over here. At least the way I'm building it, because it only goes one way. The notches fit in the grooves on this red piece, which did not line up with how the direction I was building it. No biggie, just turn it around. And then that just snaps on the top. So it's fringe, and then you have these so you can put it at the bottom if you want, so that you don't have anything sitting in there. And then you could put this wherever you want it, and that is your shelf. You could adjust it to whatever level. So pretty easy with that. Here's up close all the stickers. I think I'm gonna put this one up top here. I think that'll look cute. And then I'll probably just leave the rest for Raylan to put wherever she wants, if she wants them on there. This kind of follows the other ones where it's like a poster. So that probably would fit there on the side of the bakery case or on the wall, anywhere you want to put it. So these are all individual little stickers to decorate. But let's go ahead and put this one on. And dump out these shelves, because they're going to come out anyways when I lay it on the side. And then I'm going to try to center it at the top. Oh, you could also put it down there. Maybe I'll do that. That way it's not blocking the window. That might actually look pretty cute. So let's see. 1, 2. Up about there-ish. Is that even? Kind of. About 3 in or so. That's the worst part about these, is placing the stickers and trying to get it to look even and straight and centered. Good enough. I think that's cute. And then again, you can put some on the windows if you want, on the sides, on the walls, wherever you want them. These boxes have 2 donuts in it each. There's a pink and brown one in there. And then in here, yeah, I totally opened that upside down. Cool. It's 2 solid ones, so those are the holes. These ones are solid. It did show not coming with these. It showed, I think, a vanilla one. Yeah, a vanilla one of these. That's not what came, but that's fine. I'll probably keep these in the box. I have tons of Hello Kitty donuts and things we've made from the capsules that we've collected, so no biggie. I'll probably just put those on the shelves or maybe in the display case. They would fit perfectly in there. And then of course you have this plate you can put up top. And then this they show laying on the background on a shelf, but you can also adhere that. You have tons of that double-sided tape left over. Okay, I followed the instructions and it says to mark it. So you're basically gonna go 3 over, 3 down, mark there, mark the one underneath it. There should be 5 dots in between this one and this one, and you just repeat. So make sure you count it real good and mark it if that's helpful. Put a flashlight behind it if you need to see, but I have mine marked. So you're just gonna take this hole, or this little puncher tool, and doesn't take much pressure, pokes a hole right through, and then our shelf pieces should pop right in. Shows them going in like this, where that hook part is at the top. So we're going to push those in, snaps nice and snug. Repeat on the other side. And then you have the white shelf that balances in there. I guess you force that through. Yeah, okay. That is very nice and secure. It's not going to wobble around. And then it has this adorable bow design on the side. Look how cute that is. Now we're going to put one right under here to make like a little shelf where people could come up and order. I just realized we don't even have to poke holes. It's cut out right here, and this should just slide into it. So let's do that. Ooh, do you push it all the way through? I guess you could, depending on like if you wanted it to come out the other side. But it does show it like this with the fringe there, and then it's just kind of balancing there. It's not going to go anywhere unless you're forceful with it. You can also put this up here, and it shows you how to count if you're going to put it on that wall. But I like it like this, so it looks like a counter where you can display your treats. I think that's very cute. We do need to put on the lights though. The lights are going to go up here, so let's measure those. It shows it being at the very top and like the first one, so I did go ahead and mark them. Where I move the camera to, it's kind of dark over here, so I can't see the holes as well like I can on the other one. I would suggest not doing use a pencil, because look, the ink is coming off and it's kind of getting on the wallpaper. So now we're going to assemble these. We got to screw in the light bulb. It actually screws in. That's hilarious. Of course I have tiny fingers, so that's kind of hard, but there you go. How fun if those actually like lit up. That'd be amazing. And then again, you're just going to push it in there nice and snug. It's way at the top. That's adorable. Then you repeat the process with the other side. Add your shelves in there, any last stickers or decor you want, and that is it. How cute and easy. It's mostly in frame, and now you can add your display case wherever you want these. I've seen people get 2 and then like connect them so it's like an extra wide bakery, and I think that's a really good idea. Could, I guess, stack them over there if you wanted. And then you could put this up on the shelf, Maybe put like the little candles we made. Actually, it's right here. Huh, convenient. Cinnamon roll one to kind of hold it, and then decorate it with the rest of the stuff we have collected with the capsules. That's super cute. Hope they continue to make these because I think they're fun and they're easy and they're quick to do. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this. I got mine directly from MGA. I just order enough so it's free shipping. But I did see, like, I think it was expensive at Target or elsewhere because of tariffs, people were saying. But it was like way cheaper on MGA. So just keep that in mind. And I do have a link below. I do get a small commission if you use it. So appreciate if you do. But if not, that's fine too. But yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I think it's absolutely adorable. And I can't wait for Raylan to get home and see it, and she can finish decorating it and add her stickers. Bye, guys.